I'm Riz Ahmed and this is my variety cover shoot.
You're Al-Qaeda.
Huh?
Where's Bin Laden?
I don't know.
You're a member of Al-Qaeda.
That's only a tape.
Road to Guantánamo was my first film. And at that point, I wasn't sure I'd be able to have a career. I was just leaving drama school and already thinking about how I might need to try and start applying for other courses or a law conversion course or something like that. I feel like I learned almost everything from that first experience with Michael Winterbottom. It was improvised, it was a documentary drama. I was working with a lot of non-actors who were constantly grounding everything and keeping it true. But more than anything, I guess I felt like it is possible. Got this really unexpected break and I thought, wow, maybe I can do this. So that was like a really encouraging lesson that I learned. A kind of bigger life lesson I learned is just be careful what you eat, you know, when you're on set. We were in Afghanistan and Pakistan and we decided to start eating street food. And there's a scene in Road to Guantánamo where I'm throwing up on the bus and I'm really throwing up. And the way that Michael Winterbottom works, he just put the camera in my face. Let me carry on throwing up for a few more takes before I take some hydration tablets.
I'm starting a TV news business.
You, get back!
Maybe you saw my item this morning, you were fatal carjacking.
No, I mean, I don't have a TV.
Nightcrawler, it was just such an amazing script. And it's amazing because you can interpret every scene so many different ways. It's kind of one of those projects that falls between, is it a horror or is it a comedy? Is Jake Gyllenhaal's character the hero or the villain? And because of that, it gives you so much space to play. And Jake is also someone who really likes to play and experiment with different line readings and different ways of doing scenes. I remember, there was a scene with me and Jake where I have to negotiate my wages.
Pick a number. You pick a number.
The scene is written with my character trying to ask for more money, but we kind of redid it where I start off asking for more money and then I lose confidence and I start kind of working my way backwards.
75 dollars.
So I guess it was just a reminder really how much fun you can have with a scene by just doing it wrong.
I want to tell you something, and it's the most important thing you'll ever hear in your entire life. Don't talk to anybody anymore.
Making The Night Of was a real challenge. We shot the pilot, then the show didn't get picked up. Then when it did get picked up, James Gandolfini tragically passed away. And when we did finally get to make it, it had been such a long road to make it. And then we started shooting it. It was such a challenging shoot. We overran by many months. What I learned from all the people on that set, people like James Gandolfini when we did the pilot, or John Turturro, and of course Michael K. Williams, was just generosity. When a shoot is grinding you down, that is the point your colleagues and co-stars need you to be giving, to be kind, to be generous, to get you over the line. And I saw that time and time again. The people that have been doing it for the longest at the highest levels, those actors that I really respect, it's not just about their craft on camera, it's about the way they conduct themselves off set. And I remember Michael K. Williams just approaching me with so much love and generosity, just helping me along, helping me to kind of see scenes differently, or just being straight up generous. I was new to New York, inviting me out. I remember one afternoon, he had the afternoon off, and this is like when the shoot is totally grinding us down, but I had to keep working, and he could just see the look on my face, like, man, I'm still doing this, he's gonna have an afternoon off. And with his afternoon off, he went to the store and bought me a jacket. It's still probably the nicest jacket I own. And I just thought, wow, he didn't have to do that, but so much of what you give your fellow actors isn't just about what you do on camera, it's what you do on set. And I learned that from them.
Okay. Sorry, yo.
That's for you. When I did Rogue One, I'd never done a studio film. Like I said, most of what I'd been doing, almost everything that I'd done was a low budget independent film. Some of these had done the rounds, like Shifty or Four Lions, so that a British director like Gareth Edwards goes to direct this, he's seen those and he goes, it'd be good to get Riz Ahmed, that indie film actor, into this role. I was like, all right, cool. So I went on set and I just remember it being like no experience I'd ever had. The length of the shoot, the scale of the shoot. Also, what I came to realize with a lot of these bigger films is because you have more time, you have more leeway to try things out. And so that means You have to prepare in the most flexible way possible. You cannot be wedded to one idea of the scene, one idea of even the character. I remember one week we'd be shooting and me and another character would be siblings, let's say. The next week we'd be lovers. The next week we'd be enemies. They are really trying it all out in real time. And that can be really unsettling if you approach it with too much of a fixed idea in your mind of what this has to be. It taught me this kind of flexibility. You know, you got to be able to do the scene backwards and standing on your head. And it was kind of crazy. You know, it was like a roller coaster because they were really kind of working out exactly what the film had to be as they were shooting it. You know, it was challenging, but it was also kind of exciting. We shot that whole film and then we kind of, I think to the credit of the producers and, you know, Kathy Kennedy and Ali Shim, rest in peace, who were so kind to me on that shoot. They shot the whole movie. They took a step back and they looked at it and they said, okay, we got to redo a bunch of it. I remember we went in for a second set of reshoots. It was almost like reshooting the whole film, which is brave. You know, that's a brave move for the producers to roll the dice like that. But they just wanted to make it the best possible film. So yes, it can be challenging when the goalposts keep changing, when the scenes keep changing, when the character keeps changing. But it's because everyone wants to make it the best possible version of what it is. And if you can stay flexible, then you can survive that uncertainty. It can be quite an enriching process. I always believe that the role that you're about to play finds you for a reason because of something that you are working through in your own life. And nothing was a bigger example of that than The Sound of Metal. It was almost something spiritual about the way that Darius Marder and I found each other. It was a complete chance coincidence. We just happened to be in town at the same time. We're both kind of obsessed with our creative passions. But who are we without that? Who are you behind that? We just really connected, you know, like brothers, and it was one of the most enriching experiences of my life, you know, spending time with the deaf community, spending time learning the drums. It opened me up in all kinds of ways. It was such an amazing experience. I said to Darius when we wrapped, if nobody sees this film, I don't care, because this has been one of the most incredible experiences of my life. You know, it's changed the way I look at everything. So for it to then go on to be seen and to get nominated and all of that, and to win that Sound Oscar.
Sound of Metal.
It was almost hilarious, because you make a film like that, at that scale, you're lucky if anybody sees it. You better be doing it because you just believe in it and love it. So it was just a tremendous gift and a lesson for me to follow your heart and make work that you'd be proud of no matter what. I kind of started working on Mogul Mowgli and Sound of Metal both at the same time. They're both almost pandemic movies. It's about a workaholic who gets stopped in their tracks by an unforeseen health crisis, has to go into a kind of lockdown, sit with themselves, reassess what really matters. So I was obviously thinking about these things at the time. And really what I was thinking about and what Mogul Mowgli is about is, who are you when no one's watching? You know, a lot of us, we define ourselves through our work. For those of us who are performers, we define ourselves often through how people see us. Our self-worth can come from that sense of external validation. Who are you without that? I was also in a place when I'd done a lot of kind of bigger budget studio movies. I wanted to do some stuff that was really from my personal heart. And so, yeah, I guess it was that combination of wanting to explore what it is to be an artist, mixed with my desire to take a risk that drew me to tell that story. You know, the one kind of role that I never get to play is someone like myself. That's actually an archetype that doesn't exist on screen. You know, the real lives of people like me and my cousins and my uncles. And we thought, you know what, sometimes acting is about putting on masks, but sometimes it's also about taking them off.
Toughest soldiers there ever was. Survive anything, because they stuck together. If we don't stand by each other, we can't get through anything.
Encounter was the first time I played a father, and I was very anxious about that. And it's probably an insight into all the mistakes I would make as a dad. And I was so lucky to work with two incredible young actors, Aditya Gadara and Lucian River Chauhan, who are incredible, but they couldn't be more different. They both give you amazing results on set, but River is just a consummate professional. You know, the way he can turn it on and off, knows the scenes back to front. Aditya is going to do whatever the hell he wants to do. And it was interesting because for me, I felt like as an actor, I was learning the same lesson that my character is learning in the film. You know, he thinks being a good dad is about having a plan and leading the way And he learns over the course of the film it's about accepting your kids as they are and being present, no matter which way we go. There is no wrong decision. I guess for me as an actor, I had to learn that same lesson, because if Aditya decided he wanted to have a nap in the middle of a scene, he was going to have a nap. And it was up to you to wake him up by making the scene more interesting. Or if you'd had too much candy, you had to try and calm him down. But, every actor has their process. He nailed it, His process is just very much tied to how much candy he's had that day.